In 2005, 2 years after his election, the first time, 3 years, he brought a referendum. He was defeated in that referendum. You remember Banana Orange? He was defeated. He dissolved the entire cabinet. He was left with the old man, is it Moody or Worry or something? Yeah. So what is happening around here is something that has happened before. And why President Kibaki and President Ruto? Ask yourself why. It is because any transformative leader who has an idea of what to do about key sectors that define a country's transformation, many times the decisions that leader has to make to transform the country are usually unpopular. They are not popular. Populist leaders make popular decisions. Okay? I'll give you an example. This universal health care that we are focused on implementing is not the invention of Kenya Kwanza. Professor Kithaka and the others, the scholars, will tell you, President Kibaki intended to bring universal health coverage when Charity Ngilu was minister. Aka-introduce the topic, siasa kama hii ikakuja, Kibaki retreated. Ikakufa. President Uhuru had universal health care in his manifesto. I'm part of the team that wrote that manifesto, the first term. Akaona it's very unpopular because you have to increase the levies that you're charging people and so forth. Akaikalia first term. He thought he can introduce it in second term when he's going home because he will not be looking for re-election. So in 2018, Aka announced the Big Four agenda. One of them was universal health coverage. Cecily Kariuki was the minister for health. Siasa ikakuja, Uhuru backtracked. I remember Uhuru asking us, sisi tuko na insurance? Kama watu wamekataa health insurance, sisi tuko na insurance? Alafu akauliza deputy yake that time, I just overheard, nilikuwa area tu, nilikuwa hapo, sikuwa karibu. Kasikia akauliza deputy yake, "Hey William, si mimi na wewe tuko na nyumba? Hii housing program, kwa sababu housing ilikuwa kwa Big Four ya Uhuru pia, isn't it? Si wewe uko na nyumba na mimi niko na nyumba. Hii manyumba ni ya nini? Tuwache." Wakawacha. Brothers and sisters, I'll shortly tell you what housing and what a health insurance for every Kenyan means to the economy and to household incomes in a short while. But before I do that, I want to say for the last 2 years, President Ruto has struggled with what we call macroeconomic stability. Macroeconomic stability means...
Ni mzuri tueleze kwa sababu ile mpango ilikuwa pale ni ya kuua mimi. Kwa sababu ile kijana moja alikuja na ile chuma alikuwa ananitafuta. Akagonga kijana moja ambaye alinizuilia. Na hiyo chuma ingenigonga singetoka hapo. Na tumekuja kujua ilikuwa ni mpango ya serikali. Watafute vijana wa Kikuyu. Wawatume waue Rigathi Gachagua, alafu wawashike, wapeleke kotini, waseme ni Mkikuyu ameua nani? Ni njia tu ya kutupiganisha. Hapo walikuwa wamepanga mikutano yote nikienda, wanatafuta vijana wa Kikuyu wale hawana kazi, wanapewa pesa, wanakuja wanafuruga mkutano, alafu vijana wetu wanapigana na hawa, alafu sasa rais na watu yake wanacheka pale, wanasema hii ni Wakikuyu wanafanya nini? Sisi tungetaka tuseme, tafadhali, hii jamii iheshimiwe. Sisi tulikupatia kura ukakuwa rais. Hata kama hutaki kutufanyia kazi, hata kama hutaki kutusaidia, wacha kupiganisha watu wetu, wachana na sisi tukae vile tuko. Na mimi nataka kuomba vijana wetu, tafadhali msitumike kupiga ndugu yako, msitumike kupiga dada yako. Mimi najua hamuna kazi, ni kweli, lakini msipewe pesa kwenda kutoa fujo. Na hii maneno yote tunaelewa ile naendelea ni ya kupiganisha hii jamii. Wamepiganisha viongozi, sasa walikuwa wanataka kupiganisha vijana. Kwa hivyo tujihadhari, tusitumiwe vibaya. And I would like to ask the Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kaja. He's a man from here, ni mtu hapa nyumbani. Wewe unajua hao watu walitupiga. Picha zao ziko. Most of them have criminal records. Why are you not arresting them and taking them to court? We know, of course, because walipangwa na serikali. Lakini siku moja Bwana Kaja utajibu hiyo swali. One day. These people who attacked innocent people, wakaumiza wananchi, wanazurula kila pahali na wanajulikana. Alafu mnakuja kushika Kalonzo, Peter Mwathi, watu ambaye hawahusiki. Wale walipigwa na wale waliwapiga wanaendelea kutembea. And we know ilikuwa ni mpango ati mtumie Wakikuyu kupiga Wakikuyu, ndio rais na watu yake pale wacheke kusema hii ni Wakikuyu wanapigana. This community has been misused and it's okay. But let me say this, because I have seen a lot of analysts, a lot of commentators trying to come up with many theories about the people of this region called Mount Kenya. Let me help you.
Yes, welcome to Africa 24 political discussion, where you following this great discussion. And of course, you know that this is the political talk that happens here every day. And when you see this conversation, then you know that we are about to give a bombshell of what is happening when it comes to matters concerning politics. I know it's on Friday. Those who are following this great conversation through Facebook, make sure you can join the studio through the link that I've shared there. And the main question of the day: do you think that Kalonzo in 2027 is going to win 2027 general elections? He said that it is time now. Leaders support him. It is high time now. Even the Azimio, they're going to support him in 2027. That is what Kalonzo Musyoka is saying, and he has a lot of hopes that in 2027, if he gets that support from Kenyans, then he's going to be the president of the Republic of Kenya. That is one of Wiper leader, and of course from Kambani Eastern region, Kalonzo Musyoka, when he was speaking after what has been moving all around, that 2027 they are looking forward for a leader who is going to clinch the general elections so that he can compete and make the president one-term president. But of course, the president has been campaigning. You also saw what is happening in northeastern Kenya, Mandera, and also those parts of northeastern Kenya, whereby he is saying that in Kenya we will make sure that they are going to transform. That is a quotation from the president, that they will change the situation of this country. Do you believe that 2027 we are going to get another president? Will William Ruto accept the defeat in 2027? Because it's going to be a tough competition. You saw the other day, Jubilee Party, they gave Matiang'i that position for presidential seat. Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka will be in ballot. Gachagua is also saying that he will be announcing his next move very soon, but he is telling the Gen Z to make sure they vote, make sure they register as voters in 2027. The Gen Z, after 2024 protest, whereby they were complaining about the finance bill, whereby they were complaining about the high cost of living and also incompetence of the CS in the Kenya Kwanza government, they are also planning to give their candidate when it comes to 2027. And as it stands now, they are saying the Gen Z maybe might support Okiya, that is speculatively. they might support Okiya Omtatah when it comes to 2027 general election, but still they have not said who is the leader when it comes to general elections in 2027. So Kalonzo will be in ballot. Do you think that Wiper leader will be strong enough to defeat the president from that top position? I can see Jeff Buster. Huyu hata kisima hawezi tengeneza kwa kama atakuwa rais wa nani. Jeff, welcome. Join the studio through the link that I've shared there. That link I've shared there, you can join the studio and then you will talk to Kenyans. Give me that views live here in Freak 24. The link that I've shared there, when you click the link, then it will just direct you to the studio and you'll be able to share with other Kenyans about the situation of the country. Yes, Jeff, you can join the studio then through the link that I've shared there, and you'll be one of our panelists here in Africa 24. That is the daily political discussion that happens here, where you following this great conversation. Make sure if you're following us here for the first time, you subscribe to Africa 24 YouTube channel, Africa 24 in all social media platforms. That is Africa 24, and you will be getting those news. Getting those news when they happen instantly. That is Africa 24 social media platforms. Gachagua, since he was attacked in Limuru, he has never gone back. He has been also telling the Kenyans that they should stand with their own truth. You know, he calls himself as the honest man from the mountain. He is the honest man, as he says, and he is saying that by 2027 he will also have refilled all those who have been making the country move astray. You know, we have abduction in the country, people are losing their lives, and also we are having a lot of money being squandered. A lot of money is being vandalized. That is what is currently happening. And Gachagua, he said that he will make sure that the country will be in good terms. Also, he has not been given that leeway to vie for president 2027, but still he has been making those headlines when it comes to the daily news. That is the former or the impeached deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. He was attacked at Limuru, and those days, that is last year, raised a lot of news when it comes to the security of the impeached deputy president, whereby the security also was withdrawn, and also that is during the time when he was in hospital after that hearing case in the Senate that really made a lot of headlines too in the country of Kenya.
Nyinyi mko pale Wabukusu naenda pande hii, Malabori naenda pande hii, Waidao, Waisua, Marama, Banyala, Basoso wanaenda pande hii, Kabras naenda pande hii. Hapo ndio shida yenu iko kama jamii, na lazima mketi chini mjipange nyinyi wenyewe bila kupangwa na mtu mwingine, na msiongee na mtu saa hii mpaka mjipange kwanza. Muunganishe Western yote, muongee sauti moja. Na ndio naona huyu natembea anapigwa, because hiyo lugha anaongea watu hataki, because wanajua Western ikiungana iongee sauti moja itakuwa na umaarufu kubwa sana, ushawishi kisiasa.
Nasemekana anatembea, wewe ndio umetuma yeye. Ndio unasukuma anatembea.
Mimi natuma yeye, kwani yeye ni mtoto? Natembea ni kiongozi, amechaguliwa governor, alikuwa PC. Huyo ni kiongozi, anajua nini anafanya. Ile mimi natembea, ile kitu tunafanana ni kuongea lugha moja, mtu aunganisha watu yao. Mimi rais alinifika kwa sababu ya kuunganisha watu wetu. Alitaka hatukawanye, agawanye watu ya East na watu ya West, watu ya Murang'a, nikamkataza na nikakataa, na nikaunganisha watu wetu, na watu wetu wameshikana kama simiti, kwa sababu rais akitukawanya tutakuwa watumwa wake, na atatukalia sana, na atatuchenga na atatuumiza vile tunaumia saa hii akitutenganisha. Lakini tukiungana tuko na nguvu sana watu ya Mulembe, kwa sababu tuko na kura yetu milioni karibu 7. Tutaketi na kusema hapana, tunataka namna hii, nataka namna hii. Huyu Natembeya anapigwa kwa sababu anaongea lugha ile ambayo inafaa kusema watu ya Mulembe tuungane, kabla hata hatujaongea na wengine, kwanza tuungane. Na ndio wanataka kumtoa, mpaka kulikuwa na njama ya kumtoa gavana pale Trans Nzoia. Na unajua sasa wale wa Bukusu na wale wa mtu wa Mulembe wako pale, wajue Natembeya akitolewa, deputy governor ni mtu ya jamii ya rais, ndio atakuja kuwe gavana hapo. So wale watu ya Mulembe wako pale, hata wale wa Kikuyu wako pale assembly, niliwaongelesha nikamwambia, nyinyi msikuja watu kutumika vibaya, mnakuja kufukuza Natembeya. Natembeya akitoka, nani nakalia hiyo kiti? Na Natembeya makosa yake ni kuchanua Waluya, kuambia nyinyi sisi ni wengi kama jamii, tuungane kwanza. Kwa hivyo mimi message yangu kwa Mulembe Nation, hii maneno ya kusema nyinyi ni Bukusu, nyinyi ni Malagori, nyinyi ni Waidao, nyinyi ni Waisuga, nyinyi ni Basoso, nyinyi ni Marama, nyinyi ni Wakisa, hiyo maneno muachane naye. Muungane nyinyi nyote kama Mulembe. Mkishafikisha kula milioni 5, tafute Rigiji tuketi na Kalonzo na Matiang'i na wengine, tuseme sasa tuko hapa, hizi ndizo kura zetu, tupangane namna gani. Sasa nyinyi mnapita ati Raila apange nyinyi. Sasa saa hii anapanga maneno yake hiyo, nyinyi mko hapo? Hamko hapo? Juzi amepewa mawaziri, ile kiti ya finance wakati ya Azimio ilikuwa ya Oparanya. Saa ile amepata nafasi, hajapatia Oparanya hiyo kiti ya finance, amepatia Abadi. Kama mngekuja kwa meza direct, mngepata kiti yenu. Sasa Oparanya amepata kupitia kwa Raila. Unaona? Sasa nyinyi tafadhali, nataka niongeleshe nyinyi kama mzee. Mimi nimeona mambo mingi. Siri ya hii Kenya kwa wale wote wanatafuta uongozi ni kuungana na kuongea sauti moja. Mkikubali kugawanywa, ati wengine wako kwa Musalia, wengine wako kwa Wetangula, wengine wako kwa Atwoli, wengine wako kwa Raila, wengine wako wapi, mtapotea. Na unajua tulipokuwa pale kwa hii agreement, huyu kijana anaitwa Cleophas Malala alifukuzwa pia. Na alifukuzwa kwa sababu ya hii agreement, alikuwa pia anatetea hii Malala. Huyo ni mwanaume.
The honest man from the mountain, that is Riggy G, he is also trying to advise the Mulembe Nation, the Luyas, because it has been a few months since Natembeya started saying that they need a leader. Yet they have Moses Masika Wetangula, the Speaker of the National Assembly, top position, and also the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Musalia Mudavadi, whereby Natembeya has been saying that these leaders, they have not represented the Mulembe Nation as it should be, and that is why he is saying he will make sure that he unite the western part. For example, they are now forming those groups when it comes to 2027. The western region has to be recognized. That is Natembeya, who has been making a lot of headlines when it comes to the Kenyan politics, and is one of the leaders who has been in a very good form since 2022 general election. He has been attacking the former, of course, he has been attacking a lot of people when it comes to developments, and you saw how leaders have been responding. But what does this mean? It means that 2027 political heat is now on. You know, crying for that position. You know, aiming for 2027 general elections. And who is your perfect candidate to win the 2027 general election? You can join the studio, share with us. If you join the studio, then we'll accept the invite, and then you will be live here in Africa 24 political discussion. Join us and give us your views here live through the link that I've shared there. Then you will be able to talk with other Kenyans and give them your view about 2027. Kalonzo saying that maybe that will be his last bulletin in 2027. He has been in politics, active politics for over 40 years. But now he is saying they should support him. The other leaders who have been receiving his support, then they should now support him as they approach 2027.
There is nothing for Mulembe Nation. The personal gain ni Raila kwa sababu alileta watu wangu wanao kwa serikali. Nyinyi mlipoteza, you changed one for one. Okay? Hiyo mlichezewa. Number 2, pale kwa hii serikali, rais ndio mwenye kuamua kila kitu. Hata ukileta mawaziri ngapi, is a waste of time. Yeye mwenye ndio mwenye kuamua, wako tu pale. Na tangu broad based ikuje, hakuna maisha ya Wakenya yamebadilika. Gharama ya maisha igali iko vile ilikuwa. SHA is not working. Chief is not working. Payslip imefinywa. Ndio tunataka kurescue, kuiokoa payslip. Madeni ya Kenya haijalipwa. Barabara hazijajengwa. Hata juzi hiyo rais amekuja huko ile barabara hakuna kitu naendelea. Nothing, what has changed? Unajua tukisema hii broad base ni mzuri kama kuna kitu imebadilika. Lakini as we speak today watoto ya university wako nyumbani. Hawana pesa ya kwenda kulipa. Hospitali haina dawa. So what is the gain of the broad based government? Hiyo broad base ni watu tu wametafutiwa kazi. Ndio waunge rais mkono wanyamaze. Na wamenyamaza, rais anaendelea. Hakuna kitu imebadilika, ni vile ilikuwa. Mimi sitaki niongee mambo ya Kidiki kwa sababu huyo ni mfanyikazi wa rais. Sasa mimi ni kiongozi amechaguliwa, utaongeaje juu ya mfanyikazi? Yeye anafanya vile rais anataka na hiyo ni uamuzi ya rais. Sasa huyo ni mfanyikazi yake, anamwambia sema hii, fanya hii, fanya hii, fanya hii. Mimi sina shida na sina shughuli na yeye. Kwa sababu mimi sasa niko kwa mambo yangu. Na mambo yangu ni vile hii Kenya tutapanga tuone vile itakaa. Mimi hakuna mjumbe ninafuatili, lakini mimi naheshimu viongozi wote wako na msimamo. Huyu Karasinga ni kiongozi yako na msimamo. Mimi namheshimu. Huyu kijana anaitwa Salasia, Peter Salasia. It's a young man but with brains. Hako na akili mingi sana huyo kijana. Anacheka tu namna hiyo, lakini zile point uliona siku rais alikuja pale vile aliongea. Anaongea vile wananchi wanataka kusikia kwa sababu yeye ni mtu ya ground. Mimi namheshimu sana. Huyu kuabuka anatetea watu yake na hakuna makosa amefanya. Unajua the only thing we have in common with them, mimi pia ni mtetezi ya wananchi na hao viongozi wanatetea wananchi. Mimi hakuna mtu nimefadhili. Mimi huyu Kaboka sijaongea naye, hata sina simu yake. Salasia I have not seen him for a long time. Nimemuona juzi hapa tukifungua ofisi ya DAP. You know, huyu Karasinga I talked to him wakati ya impeachment. Akiniambia anaambiwa ni impeach na watu yake hawataki. So mimi ni kuheshimiana na heshimiana na viongozi ambao wako na msimamo, because mimi naamini ni mzuri sana kuheshimu raia. Ndio.
Mheshimiwa Rigiji, maswali matatu. Swali la kwanza ni nafasi ya vijana, kwa sababu tumekuona kule wa Mnyoro ukiwa na wageni tofauti tofauti wa siasa, marafiki wa siasa. Labda kuna vijana katika huo mrengo ambao utakuwa unazungumza na Wakenya hivi karibuni. Swali la pili, kuna taxes, ushuru ambao unafinya Mkenya wa chini. Labda kama mtakuwa na nafasi ya kuendesha serikali, je, ni ushuru upi huu ambao mtaondolea Mkenya wa chini? Swali la tatu, what are your chances of winning, Your Excellency?
Nilisikia vijana watahusishwa sana. Kwanza ile gari mimi naunda na watu wengine ambao tutaelewana. Vijana wetu wa Gen Z na millennials watakuwa na nafasi kubwa sana, kwa sababu hao vijana ndio wenye nchi ya Kenya na ndio leo na kesho yetu.
Rigiji, supporting the young talents, supporting the young kings, saying that the young kings will determine on who is going to win 2027, and also as it unites the Mulembe Nation. What is currently happening is politics for 2027. Who is going to be the president of the Republic of Kenya? Maybe Gachagua, William Ruto, or Matiang'i. Those are the top candidates who will be featuring in 2027 general elections. The president has been campaigning in northeastern part of Kenya.
Wa Kenya wote, jameni, tuungane tushirikiane. Ya muhimu sio uchaguzi wa 2027, ya umuhimu sasa ni mpango ya transformation ya Kenya, barabara tutakazojenga, maji tutakayofikisha kwa manyumba ya wananchi, stima tutakayofikisha kwa nyumba ya wananchi. Hawa vijana tuwapange na ajira, na wale wengine wote tuhakikishe ya kwamba tuna madawa katika mahospitali yetu. Na ndio mimi nataka niwaulize viongozi, let us unite so that we can have a plan and we can prosecute the agenda for the transformation of our nation. Matters 2027 will come and the people of Kenya will decide. For now, we must focus on making sure that we deliver on the commitments that we made. And I want to promise the people of Kenya that this administration, under my leadership, is going to focus on the transformation of Kenya, making sure that our teachers are in school, our children are being taught, our farmers have the support they need. We build roads, we connect electricity, we connect water, transform our nation. That is what is important for every Kenyan, irrespective of their tribe, irrespective of the region they come from, irrespective of the religion they profess, irrespective of any other consideration. And that is why we must work together as leaders and as a nation. Na mimi nataka niwatahadharishe, upande ule mwingine ni watu hawana mpango, hawana sera, hawana ideas, hawana chochote. Ati mpango yao yote ni vile watagawanya wa Kenya. Kama hawasemi mambo ya ukabila, wanasema mambo ya sijui dini. Kama hawasemi mambo ya dini, wanasema sijui nani wa kutoka mulima, nani wa kutoka bonde, nani wa kutoka bara, nani wa kutoka ziwa, nani wa kutoka wapi. Kama hawafanyi hiyo, wanasema nani yako na kazi, nani hana kazi. Nani yako na payslip, nani hana payslip. Mimi nataka niwaambie hawa jamaa, if you want a semblance of a competition, look for an agenda. Leave division. Division will not get you anywhere. And the people of Kenya are resolved to unite so that together we can transform our nation. We cannot transform our nation divided. We will transform our nation united. And that is why we are united as a people of Kenya. Watu wa Mandera, munasema tuungane ama tutengane? Tuungane ama tutengane Mandera? Wale wanasema tuungane nione kwa mkono, wale wanasema tuungane. Tuko pamoja? Tuko pamoja? Kwa hivyo, mimi nimefurahi sana kufika hapa. Mimi niko hapa. Na mimi nataka niwahakikishie ya kwamba vijana hawa are top on my priority kwa kupanga vile watapata ajira na vile tutatembea pamoja na nyinyi. Mandera, asanteni sana, na wapenda sana, na watakia baraka ya Mungu, na tutakutana hapo mbeleni. Thank you very much, and may the good Lord bless all of you.
Yes, that is the president when he was having that tour in Mandera, and of course what is happening in northeastern part of Kenya, as he has had very many days, I think 4 to 3 days, and still counting in Mandera, whereby he has met a lot of leaders and also the youth, and he is promising to change a situation in Mandera. I have a new guest here, Nelson Odhiambo. Nelson Odhiambo, welcome to this is Africa 24, and you give us your views about 2027. Who do you think will be the president in 2027? Because we have Matiang'i, we have Kalonzo, we have William Ruto. Do you think that there is a leader who can make William Ruto only first president to serve for one time, and then that is all?
Thank you very much. And I'm watching and listening from the States of America. And to me, the biggest concern that we have and the biggest problem that we are facing now in Kenya is people to wake up. Because if the president of Kenya right now, instead of sitting in the office and planning for Kenyans, is out already campaigning for 2027 as if he's a politician who is not in the government, who is not sitting in the office. He spent his time now because he realized that people are going to be against him. Now he start collecting people from Central and telling people that border people, we are going to help you. Now he's talking about barabara, tunaenda kutengeneza barabara. Na hizi siku zote amenyamaza, badala ya kufanya haya mambo ameanza tu kuumiza raia. Kenya is in a very tough situation today. And I'm pleading with Kenyans that people have to wake up. People have to wake up. And these politicians, we have to categorize each and every one of them. We have to look at each and every one of them according to who they are. Kalonzo cannot come and tell us he's going to be a president. Someone can easily be bought. We have seen him being bought. We have seen him sabotaging somebody. We have seen him being pushed here and there very easily. Rigiji anakotuna hasira kwa sababu amefukuzwa kwa serikali. Hata kukuwa deputy president, huyu jamaa alikuwa wapi? Na kwa sababu ametoka na hiyo hasira yake, sasa anafikiria kwamba Gen Z watamsupport akuwe president. From where? I love this man Matiang'i. And I like what he did when he was given the little opportunity that he had. If it was my powers, I would advise the youths and everyone to rally behind him. But I would suggest that Kenya should look for a new face, someone who has never been in all these scandals, someone who wants to lead Kenya. We have youths who can lead. We have people who can be leaders. Wachana na watu wamekula kwa serikali. They know what is going on in the government. They know very well how the government is stealing. They know the way of the government. Na wakikuja hapo, wanajua vizuri sana mwanya vinye watu wamefanya, watafanya hivyo hivyo. Hakuna kitu ingine, hakuna new tactics that they want to bring to the Kenyans. I'm calling upon the Gen Z to come up with their own leader. They should not back up anybody who is coming and pretending that he is backing them up so that they can do anything. Gen Z has been struggling without anybody supporting them. Now these people are coming in to try to lure them in that, you know what, you have a spokesman. You have someone who can stand in. They are not going to stand in. They are just trying to bring themselves in the picture so that the Gen Z can support them, so that they can get back to do their intentions that they were not able to do when they were given an opportunity to be in the government. And therefore, among these people you are talking about, mimi sioni mtu anataka kuongoza Kenya. Hawa watu ni wale ambao wamefungua mdomo na mtumbo zao, wanataka kukula, na kwa Kenya lazima wajihadhari sana nao. Isipokuwa mtu mmoja ambao naye support, ambaye ni Bwana Matiang'i. Asante sana. Hiyo ni maoni yangu, na nawashawishi wa Kenya kwamba Kenya ni yetu, inatakikana tuende mbele na tuache hii porojo ambao huyu mtu ameanza sahi, ameanza ku campaign. It is too early. Let him sit in State House and do for us something. Give us what you promised before you come back to us and start another promise that you have never delivered. Asante sana.
Nelson, you have said that you really support Matiang'i when it comes to these general elections, and also we have a lot of leaders who have been given that opportunity, the likes of Jeremiah Kioni. You have also seen the likes of Morara Kebaso is also saying that 2027 he will be in ballot. Gen Z are still trying to find a leader. but they are saying that they want to support Okiya Mtata. That is speculatively from some of the Gen Z. They are saying that Okiya Mtata is the best person for that seat in 2027. Also, we have Kalonzo Musyoka, who has been in politics for over 40 years. He has been supporting Raila for a long time, but now he's saying that it is high time now Azimio and also all leaders now come together to support him in 2027 as they are planning to make William Ruto the first president to serve for only first term. Do you think that among those there is someone who can be the best, not Matiang'i? Who do you think? And also, you know that Wajakoya also will be in the ballot, the Roots party leader.
Asante sana. Ukiongea about, if you talk about Jeremiah Kioni, he cannot even run a political party. He cannot even lead this political party anywhere. How can he lead the whole country, Kenya? That is impossible. Why is Kalonzo being behind people? Why don't he stand for as a man and say, okay, all these 40 years, I'm here, vote for me. He tried, but because he was afraid that maybe he's not going to succeed, he goes behind someone. He tries because he's seeing the pressure is too much. He goes behind someone. Even now, if he stands, he will still go behind someone. I can't trust him. Wajakoya has got no agenda for Kenya. I don't think that he has anything. Well, talking about legalizing bang and I don't know making what, which of course is talking sense, but Kenya is bigger than just making one product. When you can talk about a product, Kenya is bigger than that product. So that product is not going to change Kenya. Have something that is understandable, that when people look at it, they feel like this can bring a change. But just making clothes, just reviving Mumia Sugar is not enough to build the whole Kenya. Okiya Mtata ni lawyer. It's good. He's been fighting for human rights. He is one person who is very straightforward, who is fearless. But then, you know, leadership quality sometimes goes beyond just being a stubborn person who can speak and fight. It has its own quality. I've not seen these qualities in this guy. And I said about Matiang'i because among all these people making noise, I can have credentials that Matiang'i changed the education of Kenya, something that nobody else has ever done. Education is the key, even with the young people, for them to have anything substantial in their hands, they need proper education. And if someone is put in the office, his work is only to feed themselves, garner money for themselves, and go away. There is no way you can trust such people with the leadership of the country. And therefore, I feel that these people, that it doesn't matter how long you have been in this picture, what have you done for all that time that you have been there? That is what matters. And if there is nobody else that the GNC can find, then I rather go for Matiang'i.
Yes, Nelson is saying that Matiang'i is the perfect candidate for 2027. I can see in the comment section there, we have a lot of people, and Awosam is saying that Kalonzo is broke in the first place. He cannot campaign even for 1 week. He will run bankruptcy. Also, Awosam is saying that the more candidate we had for 2027, then that straight ticket for William Ruto. Let the Gen Z add the number of the candidates, saying that if we get more leaders in 2027, then that means that they are going to win. That is one of the comments here, and is supporting the government. Matiang'i was responsible for the same crime Ruto is committing. What's wrong with Nelson Odhiambo? We preferred Maraga. That is a Mason. Someone is saying that Matiang'i was responsible for those crimes that Ruto is committing. Mason Sanders in the comment section, and also, how do you see it while Wamnyoro is actively campaigning? He has to come out to neutralize the current situation. But Kalonzo and Matiang'i are jokers. Ruto is not even paying attention. That is the comment section there. Continue sending those comments here live in Africa 24. Now we have the Wamnyoro man. After he was impeached, he has been actively campaigning for 2027, meeting leaders from different locations and making sure that he is uniting the region. You know that the fight for the mountain is still there, and he has been making all the areas in the mountain to support him, going around churches every Sundays so that he can talk to Kenyans. And this is specific for the mountain because he has never went to coastal, central, that is Nyanza, or in the North Rift Valley of Kenya. It's just around the mountain. What does that take about Wamunyoro? Maybe Wamunyoro might know some of the deep secrets of the government that can make him win the 2027 elections, because he is speaking with a lot of confidence.
I think the confidence that he's talking about with is the same thing Rigiji is doing. You know, the Ouru Ruto Park won because of sympathy. Kenyans sympathize with them because of the AIC. Now, these guys that have been impeached, those are kicks of dying donkeys, people who just want to fight back for what has happened to them. They don't have any agenda. They don't have people of Kenya in their hearts, but they have the bitterness of being removed from the government. And that is what they are selling. And if people don't open their eyes and see that, then we are all going to mislead Kenya. We cannot think that someone who has not even gone past Nakuru, past Kericho, past Voi to go to Coast, even to talk to people there, is going to be a president of Kenya. Maybe if Mount Kenya becomes a country, then he's going to be a president there. But if Kenya is still Kenya, then these are political leaders that are just politicking and are more concerned about themselves and their regions, but not the country Kenya. That is the sad news, or the sad thing that we are experiencing in our country Kenya today. Someone talking about Matiang'i being involved in crimes. Sometimes we want to think of our Kenya more than the grudges or the personal differences that we have with people. I'm not talking of a Luo. These guys are kissing. There are so many Luos who are in the politics. I will talk of one of them if I wanted to be a tribalist. If I wanted to support someone that I know, that I think for my own interest, I would pick someone from my country. We have many people there. But I am a parent. My children are growing up. They are growing, even if they are not in Kenya, but Kenya is our country. They are going to be in Kenya one time. And we are looking for a country where when our children are growing up, they are growing in an environment which can support them, which can help them. We don't want hopeless children. For us to build this, we need leaders. We don't need politicians. And Matiang'i has never been a politician until he was elected to be one of the ministers. And what he did, despite what people they think about him, he did a good job. And if you ask any Kenyan, they will tell you, yes. Thank you.
Yes, that is Nelson is saying that if it's matters of being tribalistic, then he would have chosen one of the leaders from the Luos, because we have a lot of leaders there in Luo region. Also, he's saying that Gachagua has never stepped outside the mountain. He is just rotating around the mountain. Now we have a country that is made of more than 42 ethnic groups, from north to south, east to west, and all of them, when you become the president, then you are going to serve the entire country. Now, if Gachagua has been making headlines in the mountain alone, then it means that he is more concerned with his people, and he will forget about the Western people. For example, we have the Luyas, we have the Luos, and also we have a lot of people who are in need of the government support. Gachagua, he has been making a lot of headlines saying that he wants to change the situation of this country, but again, he has never stepped out of this mountain. Remember, this is a Freak 24. That was Nelson, and I'm sure that Nelson is going to come back again so that we can share more when it comes to this political discussion. Remember, if you're following us here for the first time, subscribe to our Freak 24. The president, he admitted the president cannot just sit down as he sees what is happening. Wamunyoro has been making a lot of meetings, making sure that he unite the mountain. That is why maybe the president went to northeastern part, whereby he was campaigning, and he has been saying that they will change the situation. You saw how he has launched a lot of roads there, but I have been following what is happening when it comes to the comment sections, and people are mostly criticizing those projects that are being launched by the president, and just asking, when are these projects going to be completed? Because we have few years to 2027, and does it mean that he will be the first president to just quit that presidential seat after serving for 5 years? Since Kibaki has been there for 10 years, Uhuru has been there for 10 years, we have Moi for 24 years, and Kenyatta still was there for many years.
Mimi nataka niwaambie hivi, usalama ni kitu ya muhimu sana. Usalama wa taifa letu la Kenya ni ya muhimu sana. Tunapigana na wahuni na wakora na wahalifu pamoja na magaidi. Na kwa sababu hawa magaidi tumewalemea jana, kwa sababu ya kutaka kulete hali ya hofu sehemu hii, ati walienda wakashika machifu wetu. I want to promise the people of Mandera, hawa machifu lazima warudi nyumbani, na hawa wakora na wagaidi na wahuni tutapambana na wao. Nimekuja na Deputy Inspector General wa polisi yuko hapa, Bwana Masengeli, na nimemwambia Bwana Masengeli yuko area hapa. Bwana Masengeli nishamueleza ya kwamba juu chini, kulia kushoto, mbele na nyuma, east or west, mpaka mambo haya yatatuliwe, kwa sababu we have significantly downgraded the ability of the Al-Shabaab to unleash violence to the people of northern Kenya, and we will not stop at anything until we make sure northern Kenya is safe like any other part of the Republic of Kenya. Munajua hawa wajinga walikuwa wanafikiria ya kwamba wakifanya hiyo maneno walifanya jana, ati ndio nisikuje hapa. Wako ni wajinga kabisa, ni wazimu. Mimi sio ati nimekuja Mandera, nimekuja na Mandera na mimi nalala Mandera. Na ikizidi naweza kulala tena, kwa sababu hapa ni Kenya. And I must make it absolutely clear that every part of Kenya is important, and we are not going to cede an inch of our country to criminals and those who want to unleash mayhem in our republic. We will go after them, we will deal with them, and we will eliminate them. Tumekubaliana jameni? Watu wa Mandera tumekubaliana? Vijana muko? Sikizeni. Hapa Mandera tuko na program ya housing, nyumba 1000 tumetangaza ya kujenga hapa Mandera town. nyumba 1000 tunajenga pale Ramo, nyumba 1000 tunajenga pale Elwak. Soko ambayo nimekubaliana na ndugu zenu, tunajenga soko kubwa hapa Mandera town ya milioni 350. Tutasaidiana na county government hapa. Tutajenga soko ingine 6 ya milioni 300 in all the headquarters ya all the constituencies hapa Mandera. We have a
Listen to President, then you know that he is saying some of the good things. But now, whatever comes out, now Kenyans will wait for the actions. In the comment section, Mason Sanders is saying that who is not tribal? Ruto is more tribal. The difference is that Gachagua was vocal about Ruto. About it, Ruto is more action, and so Raila. And also, he is saying that they all cater to their bases and pit them against others. Sanders, join the studio. You have good points. Ruto is always on field trips. What times does he get to sit down and strategize on how to improve the economy or create jobs and market for Kenyans? That is Mason Sanders in the comment section there. He's saying that the president has been moving all over the country. He has been making trips. When does he sit down? Strategize, because you know that for you to run the government, for you to be a very competent leader, then you have to know steps. You have to know the steps that can really lead you to that achievement, that your country is moving on in the right direction. Continue to do those, and then you will win. You've seen what is happening in those African countries that are very serious when it comes to development. You have seen what is happening in South Africa. You know, South Africa is one of the most developed countries in Africa. You go to Egypt, the Missouri, then you know that the city of Cairo, you see every place. Although we have some of the areas that are poor, but you see those presidents are doing a fantastic job. Basically, in Kenya, even you can see what is happening. We were to host, that's a Chan 2024. Chan 2024 was to be hosted in Kenya, despite the bid that we had East Africa, Tanzania, and Uganda. But Kenya was the main host because the opening match was to be done in Kenya. But still, we don't have stadiums. And yet, we are saying that we are developing the country. We don't have stadiums in this country. That is why our Harambee Stars are playing away. We don't have those home advantage. That means that we are very poor and we have a lot of money. You see how the sports docket has been changing those leaders. We had Kipchumba Murkomen, we have Ababu Namwamba, now we have Salim Mvurya. And also, there is someone here in the Africa 24 said that there is something called mismatching of the cabinet secretaries, because someone who is just economical, how will he perform in cabinet secretary for interior security or for agriculture? You know, you have to make that matching so that if someone is a doctor, he has a PhD in medical field, then he can lead that Ministry of Education, that is Ministry of Health. But now we are having mismatching. We also have Ruto is very, someone is saying that Ruto is very restless and has no time to sit down. That is why the country is a shambles. That is Mason Manders, and saying that Uru was right to call him Tanga Tanga. In the comment section there, continue sending them here right in Africa 24. Remember, Gachagua is a regional politician. He has less experience, and on top of that, he is tribal. That is the reason he hovers around mountain Kenya West. And that is a comment section. Court orders, as someone recently observed, are not suggestions. Matiang'i disobeyed many and he was convicted of contempt of court. Nothing to do with performance tribe. Let's not get twisted. That is a comment section there. Continue sending them. Future trips is part of, that is someone is saying that future trips is part of work. Let's not believe sitting in office things will work perfectly. Look at the US. Trump is crisscrossing the country and things are working. That is awesome. Trying to compare United States of America Awesome is trying to compare United States of America with Kenya. With Kenya, I am still shocked. But also, that is your views in the comment section. Continue sending them, and I will be reading them here live in Africa 24. The president has been making a lot of headlines, but you know, the oppositions are making a lot of ways so that they can win, so that they can be the winner when it comes to 2027 general elections. Something that Kenyans are waiting to see. Who will be this person who will defeat the Kenya Kwanza government when it comes to 2027 general election? Why? Because as you know that there are a lot of complaints that have been raised by Kenyans when it comes to the governance of KK government. A lot of abductions, a lot of youth being abducted, losing their lives, underdevelopments. But again, when the president will stand up, then he will tell you what he has been changing when it comes to the situation of the country. The other day, he was saying that he will make this country very dependent. That is, independent country. We have to depend on ourselves. We should stop depending on overseas countries for support.
Watu wa Garissa, assalamu alaikum. Mumekaribisha rais. Sasa tulikuwa hapa akiwa deputy president. Sasa yeye ndio mdosi hapa Kenya. Your Excellency, I want to thank you kwa sababu umefanya maajabu ambayo haikuonekana katika serikali zote zilipita. Hata hii bridge unaenda kufungua, Your Excellency. Hii bridge unaenda kufungua ni ile bridge ilijengwa na ukoloni. Mzee Moi hakujenga, Kibaki hakujenga, Uhuru hakujenga. Sasa hata ilikuwa ukipita inatetemeka kidogo. Lakini leo unaanzisha bridge zaidi ya 1.5 billion. Ile ingine zaidi tuko naye tutatumia kupitisha ngamia na ng'ombe. Ya pili, Your Excellency, utaingia historia. Jana tukiwa huko Wajia, umeweka sahihi kikatiba ya kusema mtoto wa Northeastern Mohamed na Abdi lazima wafanywe na wasibaguliwe wakienda kutafuta kipande na pasipoti. Hiyo ilikuwa shida kubwa sana hapa, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, ya tatu, tumetenga katika serikali zote barabara inaishia hapa Modogashi. Na ile unaanzisha kutoka Garbatula inapitia Kulamawe mpaka Madogashe mpaka Mandera hapa Swain. Your Excellency, itakuwa ni legacy yako na hii wafugaji na hawa Somali wa Northeastern. Sisi tulisikia juzi iko mtu mwingine tulimfukuza kazi. Anatukana hii jamii. Ukasomena magli. Ninki sakala anga bihina meelaha bajak shega. Ninki rigijile da rigijizo ngirezim. Mtu amepewa deputy president akashinda kushika kazi yake. Sio mtu ni si mimi nimepewa waziri na rais. Sasa mimi nikishinda kushika hiyo kazi yangu ya uwaziri na bunge inifukuze. Si mimi ndio nimeaibisha Garissa. Nyinyi mnataka niombe tu kwa mkono muonyeshe inshallah 2027 sisi wafugaji wote wa Northeastern, Isiolo, Marsabit, Turkana, uko wa Masaini na Samburu na Pokot, sisi tutapigia Mheshimiwa William Samuel Arap Ruto. Si ndio? Wangapi wanasema watapigia Mheshimiwa Ruto? Asanteni sana.
Haya, niko hapa na gavana wetu jameni, Mheshimiwa Jama, mpigeni makofi.
Leaders, that is Aden Duale. He is also supporting 2027 for president. I have also seen many leaders, they are supporting 2027 presidential bid to give their votes to President William Ruto, whereby a lot of things are happening. Who is going to win 2027 general elections? Gypsy Kona, karibu sana. Prick 24 umepotea sana. Najua ulikuwa unasafiri sijui uko France lakini wapi? Kumbuka kwamba Gypsy Kona, I'm still waiting for my cup of tea. Cup of tea. I'm still waiting for my cup of tea. Mason Sanders is saying that exactly future trips are part of work. That is true. Yes. The problem is that Ruto is always on future trips. Who is going? Who is doing the other part of the office duties? That is comment section. Mason is saying that I want to repeat that one exactly. The field trips are part of work. That is true. The problem is that Ruto is always on field trips, who's doing the other parts of the office duties. Comment section there is very active, but we having also a lot of people sending their requests. But you've seen what is happening, that leaders, when he was there in northeastern Kenya, a lot of people just came in numbers. You have seen how the northeastern part came in numbers to support President Yotua there, and after some of the chiefs were abducted, President sent that big warning after Al-Shabaab. They attacked and abducted 6 chiefs, and of course we have not seen any actions. And of course maybe the government is doing some of the investigations so that they can get back those chiefs. The president has addressed that issue when he was in northeastern part. Mason Sanders very active. Mason, join the studio. Join the studio, sir. Join the studio. Mason Manders is saying that asa hii channel ya stop giving Ruto more time. That is that is Mason Sanders here in Africa 24 in the comment section. They are being active as he addresses the issue of the governance of this country. Remember, Africa 24 is a free channel. You join the studio, share with other Kenyans on what is going to happen in 2027. We have Natembeya, the governor of Trans Nzoia. Natembeya has been making sure that he will defend the Luhya and Mulembe Nation. Natembeya has been slamming the Speaker of the National Assembly, who is Moses Wetangula, and also the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Musalia Mudavadi. Why? Because they have been in politics for over 30 years, but now Natembeya says that they have not represented the Western region as it should be. That is why he is coming out to criticize leaders who are from Western and they have not represented their region as it should be. That is George Natembeya, the governor of Trans Nzoia.
Juzi rais amekuwa Western siku 6, hata alikuja hapa Mount Elgon. Alifungua nini huko? Mimi mwambia rais ukweli. Kuna wale ambao wanamwambiaga ukweli, uongo. Sasa walimleta siku 6 wakamzungusha Western. Alifungua nini? Mimi nikisema Western hakuna maendeleo, mimi husema ukweli. Sasa wanamwambia kuja fungua hii soko. Waziri president akifika pale anapata soko ilijengwa 2000. Na umeweka kibao hapa officially opened by his excellency. Mimi kama leo nikitoka naambia jiko na angusha hiyo kitu. Wanampeleka mahali pengine kwenda kufungua transformer. Rais wa Kenya. Hata hapa Trans Nzoia kuna wakati rais alikuja hapa, tukazunguka na yeye tukapeta pale Mulembe. Wanapeleka president kwenda kufungua tapu ya maji. Hadi kuna ngolo Kiptoko ati water supply ati maji imefika hapa. Mimi nilikuwa naomba Mungu hii maji wamefungua wasiwache iteremke kwa dakika 10. Maana hiyo tangi maji ingekwisha. Maana nikatangi kameka kule nyuma, rais anakuja kufanya nini? Ulonji. Wanakudanganya, rais hao watu wanakudanganya. Sikiza watu ambao wanakuambia ukweli. Hii upande wa magharibi hakuna maendeleo. Na kuna watu wawili wamekaa na wewe huko. Tumesema tawe. Tumesema nini? Tumesema tawe, hatutaki watu. Na mimi naongea kama Irungu amelala pale, Irungu pia angewaambia kwa macho kwamba tawe. Si ndio? Hakuna, hatutakubali watu watubebe hiyo maneno tena. Sasa wewe kwa serikali umekuja na president. Unaomba president barabara amekaa hapo na wewe ni MP hujaweka kwa budget. Unataka president akisimama aseme nini? Akisema tutatengeneza hii, baadaye mnasema alikuwa anadanganya. Kulikuwa mnataka aseme nini? Mnaomba kitu ambaye hamjaweka kwa budget. Siasa ya uongo ya kudanganya wananchi. Hiyo mambo sisi tumekataa. Ama namna gani watu wetu? Na watu wetu tunataka tukubaliane kitu kimoja kwamba rais wa Kenya wa mwisho ambaye ni mwanasiasa wacha kuwe Ruto. Ama namna gani? Kuanzia hapo utakuwa administrator kama mimi. Ama namna gani? Hii dunia tutabadili itakuwa mzuri, maana tutapanga watu sawa sawa. Hii ya kudanganyana hii sasa utanganyaje porojo hii sisi hatutafanya. Na mwanasiasa kuwa na ambition ya kuwa rais ama kuwa nini sio makosa. Ukiingia kwa siasa kama una ambition wewe ondoka kwa siasa, you are dead. Naona kutitila ni MCO kiminini anataka kuwa mbunge, si ndio? Mimi ni governor, yuko siku moja anasema kuwa president, yuko makosa? Wewe unakasiria kwa nini nikisema hivyo yani kile wapi? Yuko makosa kweli? Hakuna makosa.
That is Natembea, of course. 2027 is going to be very interesting because leaders are also making ways for 2027 as they want to get that top position. Now he is also trying to say that some of the leaders in this country are being liars. You know, they are lying to the Kenyans. They are just saying projects that cannot be implemented, and that is what has been roaming all around. Gibbs Corner, I can see Gibbs Corner there. We also have Mason Sanders is saying that how does Natembea it tribalistic when he is speaking about the Luya Nation? Don't you see Gachagua being victimized? Like I asked, which leader is not tribal? And also someone is saying that all politicians are looking after their consistencies. That is consistencies, and that it doesn't make them tribal. That is Gypsy Corner there in the comment section. Remember, Africa 24 is a free channel. Here you can join and share more. The Luya region still wants to be recognized when it comes to 2027 general elections. And that is why George Natembea, the governor, is saying that Tawe to anyone who is going to make the region not to get recognized. You've been there for 30 years, but still you have not represented your region. Close friends of the president, the likes of Oscar Sudi, Kimani Chungwa, and also the likes of Senator Cheriot, they have been making headlines too when it comes to 2027. There was complaint whereby there were a lot of issues before Gachagua was named as the deputy or as the running mate for President William Ruto in 2027. Others were saying that Gachagua was just used and dumped. They knew that if they clinch the 2022, then they're going to impeach. The other day, you saw how the former Gachagua, that is the former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, was saying he was offered 2 billion so that he can resign and go home, do his own things. 2 billion, does 2 billion mean that he will be out of politics, or he will be just in his homeland trying to enjoy what he harvested? That was the biggest betrayal, whereby Gachagua said that he could not betray the mountain. He wanted to be in politics. But at the end of the day, he was impeached by the motion that was brought by Mwengi Mutuse. And Oscar Sudi, is MP for Kapsararet, and he has been saying that he don't want anyone. He doesn't want anyone who is going against this government. So if you are tribalistic, you have to go home. Oscar Sudi is saying even the president, when the president will be with this kind of being tribalistic, then they're going to beat him. Oscar Sudi has been making some of the sensitive comments in the government.
Wakati ya kura unaanza kukaa na matako moja. Mkisia anakaa hivi, Mkikuyu anakaa hivi. Hiyo tabia tuache. Pembe zote za Kenya ni nyumbani kwa kila mtu. Tunaelewana? Ndio mimi nawaambianga isifike siku ya kura unaona mtu amefunga sofa set, mwingine amefunga kitanda, mwingine sio amefunga nini, mwingine anaenda Western, mwingine sio anaenda. Hiyo ujinga lazima iishe Kenya hii. Si ndio? Na mkiona saa zingine, na nataka munisikize vizuri. Mkiona saa zingine nikikuwa mkali kwa neno ukabila, muelewe. Si Wakikuyu ni wengi hapa. Hata ile tulifanya Nairobi kugusa Gachagua. Unajua watu wengi hawaelewi. Siku moja mtajua ilikuwa ni lazima aende. Uwezi lete villager kukuja ku-incite all Kenyans. Oh, huyu ni sijui nani, sijui shares ya nini hapa, sijui nini pale. Tuko na Wakikuyu capable wenye wanaweza unganisha nchi, wenye tunashashikana sisi wote. Kwani nyinyi mlikuwa mnajua Gachagua mwaka 5 iliyopita? Si mmejua yetu juzi wakati anakuwa naibu rais? Kwani nchi itasimama Gachagua akitolewa? Kwani leo tukiamua kutoa William Ruto nchi itasimama? Hata huyo William Ruto akiletea ukabila tuna impeach yeye, tunafukuza yeye. Ukianza kusimama kusema huyo ni sijui nani, kuanzia asubuhi mpaka jioni unaongea fitina tu, hutaki kujenga kitu, hutaki kusema kitu yote. Unasema tu huyu alifanya hii. Na hata wacha niwaambie, si mnataka niwaambie ukweli. Si Gachagua amekuwa deputy president kwa mwaka 2. Si mimi nimekuwa mjumbe kwa mwaka 12. Aleta rekodi yake ya mwaka 2 akiwa deputy, amesaidia nani? Na mimi nilete yangu. Mimi namshinda mara 500. Na ndio mnataka muelewe, si ati ukitoa mtu ama ufukuse mtu ati kwa sababu ati unamchukia, hapana. Sometimes mtu kama ni wrong ni wrong, kama Sudi ni wrong, mwambie Sudi wewe ni wrong. Juzi tumekuwa hapa Mosbridge. Watu wamechomokewa pale, wana biashara, sio wakale. Ni wote, ni mixed up. Mimi nimetoka safari hata sijapumzika. Gavana amefika na huyu chama kidogo. Tumechomokewa Mosbridge. Na ule MCA ya rafiki yako wa Mosbridge ametutu.
That is Oscar Sudi saying that anyone who is going against the country's rules and regulation will be beached, even the president. That is what he's saying. And in the comment section there, they think that also saying that they are people who will always mislead their own people back to the opposition just because of selfish interest. Natembeya is one of them. It should be ignored as much as possible. The next president. And that is awesome. How about Gachagua paying 100 bob to abuse Kindiki? That is Gipsy Kone saying that how about Gachagua paying people 100 bob to abuse Kindiki? That is someone in the comment section there. I have not seen those news, but remember the content shared on Afrique24 social media is for informational purpose, and we don't own those comments. Must either come from Nyanza or Western, and this is after 2032. That is the next president. That was awesome when he was saying. And Mason Sanders is saying that why did Gachagua ask Ruto where the 2 billion was going to come from? Ruto's pocket or the treasury area, and Gachagua then asked for investigation to trace its source. That is very wise of Mason Sanders. He said that angekubali hiyo pesa, then kabla anjangolewa pale, sasa waanze uchunguzi. Hizo shares ukufa kutangaza. Kwa nini hawatoi Sugoi Bucha na anaua watu? Sasa that is Mason Sanders saying, kwa nini hawatoi Sugoi Bucha na anaua watu? Sasa ukabila na mauaji, which is what? Sudi is misleading. That is Mason, and Gachagua is bitter man. Anything that comes from him is vengeance. Let's not believe in him. That is awesome. He's saying that we should not believe on what Gachagua says because he is vengeance. That is from his own content.
Watu wawili, moja anaitwa Adil na mwingine anaitwa Jayesh. These are the conveyors of corruption in this country. Na ndio watu wenye she and sha. Ndio wale watu ya Adani. Na hawa watu wakija kuona rais, hata ukiwa deputy president na minister, utamngoja hapo saa 5 akiongea na hiyo watu. Wakipanga hiyo mane? So Mr. President, be an honest man. Look for a mirror before you talk about corruption and look at yourself. if you think the people of Kenya are very intelligent, Rigathi Gachagua has not been associated with any scandal in this country. So wewe unaenda pale unasema he is incompetent. In matters of incompetence, Mr. President, I tend to agree with you to a certain extent. Serikali yako ni ya uongo, kutenga, kudanganya watu. Uliandika mkataba na watu ya Western, ukaamjema utajenga 1000 kilometers, hujajenga. Umekuwa hapo juzi unafungua transformer. Wewe mimi ulitaka nikusaidie kudanganya wa Kenya. In matters kudanganya wa Kenya, Mr. President, I'm incompetent. Absolutely. I accept. Because hiyo alikuwa anataka tuende ku-launch barabara na anajua hakuna budget, tukitoka matinga inafanya nini? Sasa hiyo ndio kazi rais anataka nimsaidie. Ndio anasema huyu haelewi programu za serikali. Sasa kwenda kupeleka matinga ukijua hakuna kazi inafanywa, hiyo ni programu ya serikali. He was telling me to go and defend Adani. Tulikuwa na Eugene Wamalwa, huyu mheshimiwa, na Onyonga kwa mazishi Kitale. Huyu Onyonga akaamuka, akalima serikali mambo ya Adani, na mimi nakaa tu pale. I don't want to nod because I'm still in office. That Adani thing is the worst form of corruption in this country. So mimi nilipoamuka, I never responded. So one of the PAs ya mkubwa akanipigia simu. Mtu yuko huko, mtu ya 36. Wewe ni deputy president ya sangapi? Maana ya deputy president, you speak last. Dio ile maneno yote iko baya serikali ukanu. Kwa nini huyo Nyonga alilima serikali mambo ya Adani and you are not defending? Nikamwambia, I cannot answer you. Tell your boss to call me. So president ananipigia, nikamwambia mimi siwezi. That thing is corruption. I cannot defend it, Mr. President. I cannot. That is why he is saying I was not defending government programs. Sasa corruption, is it a government program? So wanasema ati I'm incompetent. Hii mtu hakuna kitu anaelewa. Sasa kama serikali ni wizi tupu, sasa what is there to defend? Walinipeleka Senate ati nimekataa watu watolewe Nairobi River. Walinishitaki nimekataa watu wafukuzwe Marigiti Market. Those are things I could not do. Ukiangalia hii maneno ya affordable housing, it is the worst fraud against the people of Kenya. And it's good today I tell the country. And those are things he was telling me to go to TV to defend. I told him I will not. Mimi pia nikichwa ngumu. That housing, initially we believed in the president. That ni ya kuleta ajira, nini, maneno kisugu mingi, we looked okay. Until it came to my attention, it has nothing to do with housing. Ni biashara. Ya kwamba PS wa housing. Ukitaka kujenga affordable housing, you must go and sign a subcontract na kampuni ile tauza simiti na chuma na mabati. Na hiyo kampuni watu wale wakubwa zaidi Kenya wako ndani ya wapi? So this housing levy inatolewa kwa watu ya Kenya is to make sure these houses are going on, ndio hao wauze simiti, wauze chuma, wauze mabati. That is what the president is accusing me of not understanding and being incompetent. Sasa mimi nauliza, na mimi nataka niseme, I want to assure the people of Kenya, this team I see here, and when I listen to the people of Kenya, because I listen a lot, once a new government is sworn in, that housing levy will have to be abolished so that we restore the dignity of the payslip. The dignity of the payslip. Wakenya wamehangaishwa zaidi. Na nimeona mpaka yule mkubwa ya wafanyikazi amekuwa ameingia kwa hiyo praise and worship team. Watu nakazwa mambo ya NSSF, mambo haongei. Kazi yake ni praise and worship. Those are the things sisi ambaye tumeshindwa kufanya. So finally ndio nimalize, because I wanted to tell the president, usidanganye wa Kenya. useme ukweli, tulikosania corruption because wewe ndio unaeneza corruption na watu yako. Na it is impossible to make any progress in this country unless we sort out this country in terms of leadership. We'll sink lower and lower. Finally, niambie watu ya Western, because mimi naona huyo jamaa amekwama hapo kwenu. Nyinyi mko na bahati that we are here to advise you. Alienda kwenu usiku 6. Kwetu he was there 6 days out of 7 every week. Hakuna kanisa hajaingia. Hakuna barabara hajui kwa jina. Hakuna soko hajui kwa jina. And you would memorize, we are very impressed. Anataja barabara, Wakikuyu wanasema These men called a community that has pride, a community that's hardworking, that is rich.
Yes, awesome. You have listened to the impeached deputy president Gachagua, and he's saying some things that are very sensitive. We don't know the truth of them, but he is someone who was in the government. He's quoting some of very realistic things that we are seeing. Even those meetings that Onyonga slammed the government, we saw that he's also quoting a lot of technical terms there as he addresses the president. That is the impeached deputy president Rigathi Gachagua. Gachagua, Mason Sanders, I can see the comment section there. The comments are flowing. And someone is saying that Gachagua and corruption is 1-1. Uhuru administration arrested him because of corruption. That is enough evidence. That is awesome. But Gachagua is saying that he is a free man. He has never been involved in those corruption cases. Beautiful Belfast. Eli, long time no see. Gachagua seems to know a lot after being kicked out as DP. You have seen what he's saying? Comment, and he said that was he enjoying the bribe while he was in, that he didn't care about Kenyans. That is another comment there in the comment section. He's saying that Gachagua was very happy now. He's revealing some of the top secrets in the government. Someone is saying that why not believe Gachagua na anasema ukweli. They wrote ni government. We asked God to help us and has brought us that help in the name of Gachagua. Wacha wa pambane. The beneficiary is the raia. Hey, Mason Sanders anawaka moto pale kwa comment section. And they say that the Gachagua is so wicked. How can he steal 800 million and then ask Ruto to account for? He could not. And this is public money. You know how much this 800 million can do for Kenyans? That is comment section there. I also saying that I support the affordable housing. It doesn't matter where the resources coming from. Those are just lucky to have jobs must contribute to making those who are not privileged to live decently. Good thing. Gachagua is not as clean as white cotton or meet the high. That is someone in the comment section. Sasa 8 million. Someone say that sasa 8 million na hizo 2 billion Ruto alikuwa ampe Gachagua ni yeah, I don't know what is the meaning. Again, mingi. If Gachagua is wicked for 800 million, what about Ruto with the 2 billion? Walikosania corruption. What can 200 billion do for Kenyans? He's asking awesome. Gachagua can still eat. That is a comment section there. They are coming. Remember, this is a Afrique 24. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel, and we are always here at 10 p.m. East African time. And I want to say thank you so much for those who are actively sending their messages and joining this wonderful conversation. I've shared the link there, but I have seen Mason. Make sure you join this studio, Sanders, and join this wonderful conversation here as we share more in Afrique 24. Remember to subscribe, follow us in all social media platforms as we share more on matters concerning politics. And you know, politics here in Afrique 24 is something that happens on a daily basis. We always have this show on a daily basis. Make sure you tune. Make sure you have time for us, because we always give the best when it comes to politics, and we share more and give you these platforms to talk to other Kenyans and also give your views. Kenyans are following this wonderful conversation. They are following this conversation from right, left, and center, and they are going to be beneficiaries of this conversation. Remember to subscribe to Afrique 24, because this is your #1 top channel in 254.